Alright, folks, back once again. Always the busy one. Come on here to share truth, knowledge, and prophecy as always. Well, as far as with Obama, everything falling in place. That's why I ain't been speaking on Obama lately, because pretty much spoke mostly everything. Majority of what's going to happen and what's going to go down. So, yeah, hey. But anywho, speaking on the swine flu epidemic. Of course, swine flu originated in Mexico, where the so-called alleged drug cartel over there is trying to take over Mexico. But really, the truth of the matter is, a lot of so-called illegal immigrants, which really the Indians, coming back to their land. But as they call them, illegal ignorance. Wow. Well, actually, it is a lot of illegal ignorance up in here, because some people take ignorance to the extreme. But the so-called illegal immigrants that's crossing the borders, coming over in this country, and a lot of Mexicans, or so-called Mexicans, because like I said, they different tribes, etc. If you watch Latino in America, you would know that the guy broke it down specifically. Like I've been saying, they not all Mexicans. They just under their title because they from different tribes. Just like not all black people from the same tribe, but we all label the same. But swine flu, of course, started in Mexico, and of course it got out of hand and started crossing the borders. But they specifically wanted to keep it in Mexico. Then they, decided to, hey, why not let it go all over the whole world? Why not help to decrease the population? So what they basically doing is trying to manipulate us through fear. Manipulate us through fear, where people fearing they're gonna catch the swine flu, so the fear leading them to swine flu. What are you talking about, sir? The influenza shot. Okay, a lot of people that took the influenza shot said they caught the flu. I talked to several guys who took the shot. They said, I never had the flu before in my life until I took that shot. So they trying to, lead us to the flu instead of prevent us from getting the flu. And of course, somebody watching this may say, oh, here go another conspiracy theory, but no. Because why would people get sick out of taking a shot? But also they got the little, side effects like they do with the different prescription drugs on television. Side effects may include da. So, this is always, folks, it's getting more and more crazy. It's getting more and more out of hand. And what you expect? I mean, it's America falling apart. I tell people that America is nothing but the Titanic all over again. A whole lot of people in this country, scoot up a little bit, but a whole lot of people in this country is talking about the unsinkable America, the invincible America, the same way as they was doing with the Titanic, the unsinkable ship, the invincible ship. They had so much faith and confidence in their man-made ship, the man-built ship, that a piece of ice caused that ship to sink. Now, just the same way with this country, so many people having faith in this man-built country, the country built by lying, raping, robbing, and lying, raping, and robbing, and murder. The four attributes of the forefathers of this country. But so the iceberg that would be for America would be debt. See, America, was supposed to be this invincible, unsinkable country, until it ran into the iceberg called debt that blindsided this country. So the country didn't know how much debt it was in until it appeared out of nowhere. Like, man, we really in debt. So they tried to avoid the debt by turning away from it at the last minute, but then end up booze hitting it on the side. Where debt ramside this country, just like the iceberg hit the Titanic on the side. So then, there was like, it's only a matter of time before we can stay afloat. It's only a matter of time. And you remember on the movie when he asked him, how much time we possibly have, and he was like, all about 2 hours. Like, 2 hours? So the same way with this country, a lot of the congressmen question, like, how much time do we have before we can get out this debt, before another war probably initiate on us not be able to pay China back, and another war initiating, which already initiating over in Middle East with Afghan and Iraq, but also Saudi Arabia, because we in debt, a lot of debt to Saudi Arabia as well. So basically this country is shooting up the flares like there was in the Titanic. It's shooting up the flares because this is a country in distress, and you see the flares continue to go up. See all sorts of things happening with crime, and you see stuff happening in what crime is being brought to churches. People going up in a church and doing wrong. I mean, it's like, wow. I read a newspaper where a guy ran up in a church and he robbed the people, and they was trying to have a fish fry to raise some money for a youth conference, and he took all the money in the youth conference and went to their wallets and purses, and even took an SUV in the process. So this country is falling apart, people. And why? Because too many people base too much faith in this country. America, the unsinkable. Where indeed, as you see, people, America is sinking, and people are trying to stay afloat. They trying to hold on to whatever they can to stay afloat. Meaning people trying to hold on to jobs, people trying to hold on to food, hold on to money, hold on to their homes, their cars, their children, whatever they can to stay afloat. And you notice that also the comparison is similarities in the Titanic, where when the Titanic was sinking, people was holding on to their money, holding on to their children, holding on to preachers and ministers. They trying to hold on to whatever they could to stay afloat. So right now, I guess basically I'm telling people in this video segment, I hope y'all wearing y'all life jackets, because America's going down. And I hope y'all go to the nearest lifeboat to exit America, just like they did in the Titanic. And instead of waiting to the last minute to get prepared for the sinking of the ship, some people got prepared ahead of time before the ship went down. So basically what I'm saying is, I advise a lot of you to make preparations ahead of time, because right now America is starting to tilt like that. You remember the Titanic, it started off level, right? Then it broke at the front. Then as it went down, the front end went down, the back end rose like so, and then gradually sunk down. So the front end is the government, because the government is the captain of this country. So by the government falling apart, that's causing the country to break in half, because the only thing united in this country is the United States. The people are not united, nor is the government, because you got left wing, right wing, and the only way this country can stay together is if the government is united and the people united. But since that's not the case, the government is falling off from the rest of the country. So by the government going down, that's pulling the rest of the country down with it. So the government sinking, causing the rest of the country to sink. But anywho, and I want to share one more part to this, but I'm running out of time here, so stay tuned. And yeah, peace be on you, Christ for life, and I'm finna do part 2. Alright, now let me